What's going on, beautiful humanity? Brothers and sisters, friends, and family. 153 News content creators, 153 News supporters, 153 News viewers. Here we are. We have made it. We have made it to the dawn of our 8th birthday. 8 years of ups, downs, sideways, getting rickrolled from the left to the right, losing bank accounts. So many I can't even remember at this point. All of my wife's bank accounts have been frozen and taken out. Losing over 6, 7, maybe 8 PayPal accounts. They're gone. Having endless DMCA attacks. The Digital Millennium Copyright attack. From guys that have vested their lives into a charade against humanity. In the 8 years that 153news.net has been alive, I've seen so much. I've seen greats that have come, that have gone, that have been taken from us. I have seen people that I thought were legitimate turn out to be agents. I've seen those that swore friendship and kindredship turn out to be ravenous wolves. I've just seen the ups and I've seen the downs of 153news.net. In the first years of 153news.net, I sat and funded this place completely by myself. I made sure, because I had a job at the time, a job that was in the ISP industry, that I could continue paying for the resources of 153news.net. During that time, there was a guy that we partnered up with. And in the end, just like everybody else, he turned and bit us. Everybody that was from the beginning has turned their backs on 153news.net. Now, there's always the exceptions. And there's always the groups of brothers and sisters that have been here, tried and true, no matter what. People that believed that we should have a freedom of speech. People that could not stand what this world was becoming and where we were going. A people so kind and so generous that they always helped 153news.net out. There's only been a few times in these 8 years where I didn't have to sit and clang the can and beg everybody that's out there to please continue with this vision, to please help humanity, to please give those with voices a fighting chance. I've spent 8 years begging, at least a solid 5.5, 6. And it's the endless having to grovel on my knees just to keep the lights on that has ultimately led to the decision of pulling the plug on 153news.net. Now, before I go into more of this, I want to thank Francis, Darian, Margarita, Eddie, Andrew, Edward, Gene, Kevin, those who are anonymous, the Life Finder, Shimshon, David, Hebert, or Herbert, Truthers, Kevin, Cindy, Silite, Elizabeth, Aunt Liz, Caleb, Garrett, and Tamara. I want to thank all of you guys from the bottom of my heart. And for everybody who has ever supported 153news.net throughout the years. But it's a journey we are ending. And it's a journey that is almost over. And I'm taking down any of the ways to support. I'm not looking for any more cash to keep the site going. I'm not looking for any more support. What I am looking for is hope for humanity. And honestly, I don't know if there is hope for humanity. I don't know if there's anything that is joyful. I don't know if there's anything positive. We see the direction that this world is going. We see the gun control measures that are nonstop, endlessly, trying to take away the right to bear arms in the United States of America. We see Australia giving up their rights. We see all of these countries, we see Canada, that is now given, a year to give up their guns. The writing is on the wall. And we are to a point where there's nothing I can do to change the course of the future. I didn't always think like this, and I never thought that we would go out in the fashion that we are going out. I always thought 153news.net was going out in a blaze of glory. I always thought that we would be to some point where they literally cut our throats, or cut mine. But after consideration, and as James Cooper said, the swan song, which I didn't even know what that meant. I had to go look that up. And I suppose he's right. I suppose he is absolutely right. That 153news.net is disappearing forever. And it's something that I don't want to get stuck with any more bills than I'm already getting stuck with. Which means I will be turning out the lights of 153news.net in the coming week. Everything on the forums will be gone. I will run the script that destroys the site. And unlike last time, where my inbox got completely full of people that are like, Jason, please bring it back. We'll support you for years to come. A lot of that was a facade. And I'm very disappointed in the ticks and the leeches that were here for 153news.net but would never, ever lift a finger financially for this site. I find it fascinating that as many people said that they would support this place and they love this place, at the end of the day, there just really isn't much support for this place. And so I don't want to leave on a negative tone. I don't want my final video to be a bitter but sweet goodbye. And so I was looking just a little bit ago at the very first video that I uploaded on here these 8 years ago. And this was the old me. There's an old me. I am completely grayed out now. I am but a shell of that crazy looking bearded guy right there. 8 years ago. Look at that, guys. 8 years ago. This is when I called to everybody out there, Smoking Mirrors, Anaconda Malt Liquor, PK Truth. Who PK Truth is a scum sucker. He always will be. Many, many reasons I will say that, and I will leave on that term. I know a lot of you guys idolize this guy, and you can. It's fine. But I made a call to everybody out there. I brought them. I asked them, say, hey, let's do this. Let's bring a site up. And there was a handful of people that came, and they have all but gone and went. But this is one of the very first videos that we had right here. Right here. 8 years ago. 24,000 views. So here we have there's some videos on the site that have 100,000 views. It is incredible what this site has done and the amount of good people that I met throughout the years. Even to our enemies, the enemies of 153news.net, who would never believe in the site, who would never believe in me. I still got nothing but love for humanity. There have been endless amounts of traitors that have come, that have gone. And this could have been much bigger than it ever was. It could have also been much bigger had I made a lot of better decisions. There were some people in the very beginning, and not people, there was a person that I chose to keep around, that I fought tooth and nail for with my family and I. Turned out to be a traitor. Not only that, there were a lot of other people, but you know, the people I did know and the people that have stuck by 153news.net, you guys will always be family forever. So as we wrap this up, and I said I want the ending to be sweet, not bitter. But I suppose at the end of time, there's always going to be a sadness. Because every single morning for the last 8 years and all day long, I have gone to the site, I've gone to the server, I've made sure it's up, I've fought the battles, I've fought the DOS attacks, I've fought the governments. I've fought all the enemies of truth. And I believe I did a very good job. I believe we did as well as we could do in a controlled opposition world that we are in, that everybody was against 153news.net. And you see a lot of the bigger channels. I got to give props to Russian Viz. Russian Viz was only one of the big channels that ever believed in 153news.net. But you know what? We're not here to be able to make the content providers money. So if there was nothing to be had but just straight truth and straight protection of your voices, people didn't want that. And so I appreciate the people like Russian Vids that came along in the early days. And I can't thank you guys enough. I can't thank you all enough for being a part of 153news.net. For having a place that you guys called home as much as I had a place that I called home. And I wish humanity was in a different place. I wish I could say, cheers, good luck, and know that the future is going to be bright for my children and I. But I know what kind of world this is. I've seen the COVID era. I've seen the censorship. I've seen the evil. I've seen the traitors. I've seen the agents. I've seen it all. And it's the final captain of the ship. I guess you could put it to the Titanic. Everyone says it's a hoax. I don't know. Everyone says the JFK thing was a hoax. I don't know. There's so many different things and so many different eyes that are open to all this stuff. I do feel like the captain of the movie, the Titanic, where he's going to fire out the windows and let the water flood in and take this thing to the bottom. What I will promise you guys is that all of your data will be safe. As I pull the final trigger and as I sink this ship, I will make sure everything is overwritten so that nothing is out there. And to my family that is out there, thank you guys for believing in 153 News. To all the Gary Kings, to all the Aunt Liz's, to the James Coopers, to the Truthers, to the RBD3s, I appreciate you all. If I didn't mention your name, it's probably just because I'm sitting here really having a tough time even coming up with the words to say as we get ready to extinguish probably the greatest site that was ever built for the greatest purpose that it was ever built for. Throughout the last few weeks, I was trying to figure out who was there that would be responsible enough, that would be technical enough, that would understand this place enough, and that would come to the aid of funding this place enough. And there's nobody out there. This time in history was for a purpose. We got to see the genocide of the world. And now we're watching the genocide be fulfilled. As the people die off en masse, day after day, week after week, those on 153news.net didn't get hoaxed. We saw the truth, we got the truth, and it was the content providers that kept this place running with the truth. Well, my friends, I've done a lot of videos throughout the years. I've done one video at least a month, always thanking everybody who's ever helped and helped donate. I can't thank you guys enough for being on this journey with me, for being a people that I consider my family. I wish you all the best. I love you all. 153news.net will never come back. At some point next week, the lights will go out for the final time. I will get rid of the email addresses that I have that I used. Those will be gone, no reason to have them. All the extra servers. And I guess at the end of the day, those of you who were downloading videos will have one of the greatest archives of truth that has ever been. I thank you all for being my friends, for being my family, for being housemates in a place that was against the system. I love you all dearly. May our Creator bless all of you, whether or not you believe in Him or not. Whether the earth be round or it be flat, it doesn't matter. Just know that I love you all. This was one of the hardest decisions of my life to get to this point. Much love to you all.
Just say it. Mercy. Mercy, Mercy. Jesus, no, say it.
prisoner wishes to say a word.
Saying goodbye, going away, seems like goodbye, such a hard thing to say.
Touching a hand, wondering why it's time for saying